Every day I get asked, where do you get your antique chairs? Well, today's episode covers all my secrets of how I hunt them down and what I'm looking for. Stay tuned. On today's episode, I'm going to show you exactly how I hunt down my antique and vintage chairs. Now, many of you know I have two lines of chairs. I've got a set of new chairs that I have made for me in Italy. I have a friend who knows a woodworker over there, and he has connections, so they ship me chairs whenever I want to place an order. And then I have antique and vintage chairs that I redo and customize on my Etsy shop. So today I'm going to talk to you about where I get my antique chairs and how I do it. So it all starts with hunting online. I mean, yes, you can find some great places if you go to a flea market, if you go to like antique stores, you can find all kinds of great chairs, but it's really hit or miss, honestly, because sometimes you're not going to be able to find it. They're going to be sold out, or if you go to a really cool place, their prices are going to be a lot higher than if you go to little towns that maybe a lot of people don't know about. So my best bet is always to hunt online for chairs. So I'm going to show you several of the ways that I do this and what I use in my search terms. One of the first places that I always look is on Craigslist. Now, I also look at a couple other places, but I'm going to show you how I search on Craigslist. So you obviously want to search the city that is near where you live. I have all the Texas cities kind of pulled up over here, and sometimes I will search a city like Dallas or Houston or San Antonio because those are all within driving distance. But you can see I'm on Austin, Texas. Now, you can go ahead and do a big overall search here, but if I were to search chairs right here, it would bring up way too many options. And let me just show you. So when I search chairs and for sale, there's almost like 2,800 chairs. That's way too many to go to. So let me go back to that main page. I'm going to get rid of that search. And what I look at is the for sale. I search in antiques and I also search in furniture. But antiques is where you're going to find a lot of great antique and vintage chairs. So once I pull it up, I will search chairs. Sometimes I search dining chairs. I always come over here and click the image has image. I usually want to see by owner, but since it's on the antique site here, I will look at dealers. I'll look at both. But when I get on the other furniture section of Craigslist, I will only search by owner, because otherwise you get a lot of mattresses and refrigerators. I don't know why. But look, they have some really beautiful pieces here. That's kind of pricey. But you can see all the options here on Craigslist under the antique section, just searching chairs. And, you know, typically there are not a whole lot of them in this section. So I'll go ahead and just search the term chairs because it's really not going to take me that long to go through all of the listings that they're going to have. And so I usually typically just scroll through them. If anything catches my eye, you know, I go ahead and click on it. But that's all of them. And then it'll show some results from outside my area. Like some of these are in San Antonio, College Station, which isn't too far, Bryan, which isn't too far. So I'll search there and I'll go to other cities and search as well. So let's go back to that main page. And I'm going to search for under furniture. Now see how I do this a little different. I'm going to click by owner, has image, and then I'm going to search for, let's say, dining chairs. I'm going to be a little bit more specific and see what comes up. There's still 319 results of this. And so I can scroll through all of these and take a look if I want to. Some is outdoor furniture. So these are all the dining chairs that are going to come up. Now, I may want to search antique chairs and see what comes up. And there's going to be 51. So some people, when they list their items, they will only put them under the furniture section and not under the antiques. So that's why I kind of search for both. And then if you notice when you scroll, put your mouse over a certain listing, you can scroll through the pictures just to kind of get a better picture of what they're selling here. And I kind of like those. I may go back and look at those. And I don't ever think it's bad to ask someone if they'll take a little bit less for what they want or what they're asking for. Sometimes people will do that for you. So you can see some of these things aren't all chairs, but that's all the listings they have, just 51 of them. Sometimes I'll come in here and I'll put in vintage chairs and see what pops up. And so I'll scroll through these and see if there's anything that catches my eye. Some people list them as vintage instead of antique. And then one other way, oh, and I also search for settees. But let me show you how I do that. So I'm going to go back to the main page, Craigslist. This is Austin. I usually search for settees here, or settee, because there aren't that many, and they will pop up. And so you see there's only 15. So you have to think of how many listings am I really going to have to go through. Oh, and you can see how some people made a listing and didn't put a picture. So I'm going to go ahead and click Has Image, and it's going to refresh the site for me. And it's only going to give me 13 now. So you can see how this is. Boy, I really want that one. Okay, so this kind of gives you some help with Craigslist and how I search for chairs. Another place I like to look is Facebook Marketplace, and this is becoming a more and more popular place to list furniture. So I'm going to look for antique chairs over here, and I only want within my area. I want local pickup. I don't want anything shipped to me, although if I cared to have something shipped, I could. But so when I do this, it doesn't tell me how many listings there are. So you just really have to scroll. And if something catches your eye, you can click on it and have a conversation with the person over Messenger about it. So that's really how I look. Now, if I were to search dining chairs, I guarantee you this would go on forever because there's so many. Or if you just search chairs. So if you have a lot of time to kill and you don't mind just going through all the listings, go ahead and just be more generic in your search. But for something like Marketplace, because it doesn't necessarily have categories like Craigslist does, I would definitely try to narrow my search down as much as possible. I could even search settee and see what comes up. Okay, so there's not going to be that many. See, some things are even like, if that's not a settee, that's an ad that runs on here. So you're going to find ads on here. That's the main drawback from searching on Marketplaces. You're going to get a lot of ads, and you're going to get some who want to ship to you. So again, I want local pickups. I want these things to pop up first, but make sure that you realize where this is coming from, because it might be shipped to you. And sometimes you can get a pretty good rate over shipping. You can always check the seller's reputation. It'll have, people will rate them and how they do business and everything. So you can always look at that. But none of these are interesting to me. Okay, so that is how I search on Marketplace. Now, another place I love to search online is Live Auctioneers. LiveAuctioneers.com. If you go to that, you can come up here in the menu bar, and I'm going to search for auctions near me. And I'm going to put my zip code in. See if that's going to help me. Yep. Okay, so I want United States, and I want, let's see. Let's try Austin, because I know there is one in Austin. Okay, so there's going to be some different auctions here coming up. There's 2 auction houses, actually. I didn't really even realize that. So this will bring up the auctions. So when I come into here, and let's see, the Monumental 3-day auction. Okay, I'm going to go to this one. And so when I come into this auction, this is the one near me. Now you place your bids. You have to register. So I have an account here. It says, "Hi, Wendy." I can favorite things and keep those. I can set my bids, and I bid on a couple things that are coming up this weekend. And so you don't want to scroll through everything because there's so many things. So in their search, where it has the lots, I'm going to put chairs. And chairs are going to be generic enough to bring up. They don't have that many. You're going to see what they are, and you're going to see how much the starting bid is, which is 100. Now, other people can come in and bid as well. I mean, these are pretty amazing. $200 for the set of chairs. That's a really good starting bid, but I guarantee you that's going to go a lot higher. But what I could do is if I wanted to go in here and place a bid, let's say that I wanted these, okay? I could come in here and the starting bid is 200. Now I could say that's all I want and I'm going to place my bid, or I could say I'm willing to go up to 350 and place a bid. It would still start me at 200, but then other people can bid, and up to 350 I'm still going to win, but then other people can outbid me. Now I can always go back in and bid some more, but you see 14 bidders are watching this item. So if I wanted to favorite it, I can, and then I can go up to my favorites, and this is going to show you all the things. Now I've bid on this settee and this one. It tells me I'm leading. I bid on these chairs. It says I'm leading in that. So these are my favorites that I like, and we'll see how it comes out. But during the auction, you can show up live and you can bid if you want to. But I think it's always better to set it ahead of time, how much you're willing to bid, and then stop there. That way you don't get carried away. Friends, I really hope that this episode helps you to know how to find better antique and vintage chairs. Now, in a previous episode, I talked about what am I looking for when I find an antique or vintage chair. So I hope you'll check out that episode. And if you are so into antique chairs, or maybe let's say that you've been collecting quite a few of them, because I know there are some chair hoarders out there like I am, you are going to want to take my DIY upholstery course. This course goes live this week only. It's open for 5 days, Sunday through Thursday night, and it only opens a few times a year. So jump in. I've got a payment plan, or you can pay in full, and I've got bonuses that I'm going to give you all week long for joining. So the link is going to be in the description below. If you like this episode, hit the like button and make sure that you subscribe so that you get a notification whenever I have a new episode. Until next time, friends, have a great week.